Hey, what's going on, everyone? Sly. And looking at Twitter today, I saw something that was kind of like, man, I can't believe this dude said that. But there's this guy on ESPN radio who works for the Milwaukee area, Green Bay. So they're obviously Green Bay fanboys. But one of these radio hosts said something pretty crazy about Brock Purdy, what the Packers need to do. Let's check this out.
But Gabe, I go back and it's little things like this. And the reason we won in 95 when no one gave us a chance in San Francisco is because we intimidated them. I mean, and I always revert to Wayne Simmons. Wayne Simmons kicked the crap out of Brent Jones. And then it got contagious and then it carried over. That's why you guys are going to think I'm crazy.
Well, we already think that, so go ahead.
A 15-yard penalty. And I don't condone this, but I kind of do in the playoffs. A 15-yard penalty for a late hit on Brock Purdy is not a bad thing, as long as it's worth it. I'm just saying, this is the mindset you go into when it's battle, and it's kind of like the reverse of hockey. What don't they do in hockey in the playoffs, Joshy?
Shave their beards?
That and one other thing.
They don't fight.
They don't fight.
Crap.
They don't fight. Right? This is kind of like sometimes a 15-yard penalty is worth it early in the game if you knock the living crap out of the guy. And then he kind of like sticking your helmet in the ribs of Nick Bosa is like, but I'm hearing ghosts.
All right, man. To me, man, this guy, he's got to be related to Greg Williams. For those of you guys who don't know who Greg Williams was, he was a guy, the main guy behind Bounty Gate, where he was going up against, they were going up against the Niners that year, and he basically was leaked saying all this stuff. Oh, the Niners need to break Crabtree's leg, break Frank Gore's leg, like all this crazy stuff, and he got suspended, I think, for like a year or two, along with Sean Payton. But to me, man, that's Bush League talking like that for the simple fact, hitting guy late, that stuff, that's like cheap shot, dirty stuff, and I've never really respected that. I know a guy by the name of Bill Romanowski, who actually his first few years was actually with the 49ers. But I've never really cared for him that much, just because he even talked about how he was a dirty player, how he would hit dudes late, he would bite them, try to break their legs. And I mean, that's weak and it's kind of freaking nuts, man, trying to do that kind of stuff. So to me, if I'm the 49ers, if I'm Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, mostly Kyle Shanahan, I'm showing this. And not only am I showing this, I'm showing this to the offensive line. I'm showing this to everybody that's blocking Brock Purdy. Because we all know what happened last year. There was a time where the backup tight end was trying to block Reddick. And I'm telling them, guys, whatever you do, we got to protect this guy. If we protect this guy, we'll get to the Super Bowl and we'll win the damn thing, the whole thing. So that's what I'm using as motivation. I'm like, okay, we all know what happened. And by the way, last year's that hit, that sucked, but it wasn't even a dirty hit, so I can't be out there like, oh, what the F, that's a BS. No, that was a clean hit. I would love to have him not be hurt, because I think we could have probably easily won that game against the Eagles last year. But in this case, man, this radio host, who I hear has a sketchy past anyways. He was partying with underage girls, which, yeah, he seems like a bit of a weirdo. But you got to use this right here. Every little thing, you got to use as motivation. Like, okay, man, this is what they're talking about over there. We got to do our thing. We got to come up and step up and have everyone, all hands on deck. And that's what I'm doing, man. I'm out there. I'm preaching that all week long. And to me, I'm trying to get the knockout punch, man. I'm not out there trying to have it where, it's a close game heading into that fourth quarter. And kind of like that Cowboys game last year in the divisional round. That Cowboys game, that was a close-ass game into the fourth quarter, man. It was like anybody's game. I think that was a one-score game, right? We don't want that, man. We want to go out there and just dominate. I think right now we're the healthiest we ever have been. And I feel that this defensive line right now is going to start coming on. I really feel that they're going to start coming on, and they're going to go kind of the way it was in that Jacksonville game, where I think they got to Trevor Lawrence about, it was like 47% of the time. That's what you got to need to do. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do in the playoffs. You need to go out and just get that damn quarterback. And the fact that I think Chase Young is starting, I think we're going to have that because as much as Farrell is good against the run, he has no pass rush ability. Let's just be honest. He's the same dude from the Raiders. So that's what we have to do. All hands on deck. See stuff like this and use every little thing. I know at the end of the day, it may not work, like whatever. Because even last year, what happened when we played the Cowboys? The radio host from the Cowboys, he's out there saying the same thing. He's out there saying, "Yeah, we gotta go out and break Christian McCaffrey's leg," and all this stuff. It's like, I'll be real. Back in if that was the 80s, 90s, early 2000s talk, it wouldn't be a big deal at all. I know it wouldn't be a big deal, but now people see like, "Hey, man, you don't want to ruin these guys' careers," but thinking about that though, that dude from the Lions, I don't know his name, that safety, but he tore two ACLs. It was Higbee last week, and then I think it was who was it? It was a guy from Minnesota. He tore his ACL too, where the guy tries to catch a ball and he just goes right towards the legs and breaks their legs. And he's saying he's not a dirty player. Now that guy, to me, from the Lions, I talked about this with my brother. I was like, dude, that guy's like dirty. Like that guy right there, like he wants to like hurt you and injure you. So if I'm like Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, I'll be honest, man, I'm gonna go right towards him. Like I'm gonna have blocking plays. I'm gonna go. He's a little guy too, and I'm gonna go freaking. If he's gonna try to hurt us, and he's known to tear people's ACLs. And after the play, I think he was like to Stafford, what, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna pop him. I'm gonna pop this fool, because that guy's a dirty ass player. In my book, they're saying it's a legal play, but when you go for the kneecap and you do it like 2 weeks in a row and you tear the dude's ACL, that right there, man, that's weak. Like that's hella weak. So we got to be careful. If we make it past the Packers, we have to be careful with that dude, because that dude, I swear, man, he's such a dirty ass player, man. Dirty ass player that I don't know, he loves going for the kneecap for some damn reason. But yeah, hearing this stuff from this dude, I don't know, man, it's crazy. It's crazy talk, and hopefully the Niners use this right here as motivation. Be like, hey, man, they could be coming, and we need to protect Purdy every step of the way. Every step of the way to make sure that he has that clean pocket, because even that game in divisional round last year, he was pressured like about 50% of the time against the Cowboys. The Cowboys were coming. I think that Cowboys defense, that Cowboys team was way better than this year's Cowboys team. And they were killing our offensive line. So hopefully we take that to the next level. Hopefully Feliciano, he gets the nod instead of Burford, because Burford, at the end of the day, man, he's not the guy. Like, you could tell him, give him a million motivational speeches out there and tell everything about what we need you to do, and he's gonna block air. I'm sorry, he's gonna block air. His PFF grade has been pathetic. You watch him on film, he's been pathetic. You watch the All 22, it's been horrible. So you gotta have Feliciano out there, and Brendel's gonna be center. And I'm not a big fan of Brent, I'll be honest with you. I know our backup came in and played last against the Rams, and he actually looked not bad. Ben, was that Ben? What was that? Bartford or Bart? No, Ben something. It was whatever. The guy from Jacksonville that we picked up, who was a 4th round pick from Jacksonville, had a solid first 2 years. Barch, excuse me, there he goes. Ben Barch. He actually played really good for us. So if Brendel's struggling, man, I would say put this kid in, because this guy, started off strong his first 2 years in Jacksonville, kind of faded away his last 2 years, but actually looked really good for us. And Chris Forrester's really high on him. He says he is the center of the future for the 49ers, 25 years old, just now entering his prime. So that would be kind of interesting seeing that. And then obviously McKivitz, that's going to be the X factor right there. McKivitz he's gotta freaking block, man. He's had a rough season, up and down season. One game he'll be good, the next game he'll be giving up 3 sacks. So that's gotta be fixed. But overall, man, I'm excited about this game, and I think our guys are going to step up. You know, Green Bay did their bullying against the Packers, but we ain't. Excuse me. Yeah, Green Bay did their bullying against the Cowboys, but we're not the Cowboys, man. We're not the Cowboys. So I'm ready, and I think our guys are ready. We look on those practices, man. You could tell, and even Fred Warner's talking about, man, we're like lasered in right now. So hopefully this Saturday it doesn't rain. Cross your fingers, and it's out there not windy, and we could just work our offense and just dominate. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That guy from Milwaukee, he could kick rocks. He could take that son of a gun sideways, stick it straight up. No, I'm not going to go there. But that's what I got, man. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Was it clean, fair or foul what this dude said? Let me know down below. Talk to you next time. Peace.